People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, I hope you're all doing well and safe on this Monday. I'm so happy it's the end of the week. It's ridiculous how I'm messing up the days. Friday morning. At this point, you've seen a whole bunch of other content from me, but I've literally, before I'm about to leave, I've seen a couple of things. Let's address the elephant in the room. Arsenal have been linked. Numerous reports are linking Arsenal with Adam Lallana, or better yet, Arsenal along with a number of clubs. I saw Spurs, I saw Leicester, I saw apparently some other European teams are all monitoring the 31-year-old's situation at Liverpool. As you lot know, his contract is about to expire. I think Milner's older than him. Milner, obviously a more important member of the side, has signed a new deal. There's talk of giving Ronaldo a new deal. I'm sure maybe, you know, the Manes, the Firminos, the Salahs, if not already, one of them might get an upgraded contract. Not just them, maybe Van Dijk, maybe Gomez, if it hasn't already happened, Liverpool fans, forgive me if I'm wrong. And Lallana, with his contract up, there's been allegedly no talks or no plans to schedule talks, and it's the beginning of the end for his time at Liverpool. At the end of the day, during his time at Liverpool, I've seen him be more of a, what I'd call, slightly important player. But at the end of the day, if he leaves winning the Champions League and winning the Premier League, you know, you've had a success at Liverpool, more success than people would have thought. Personally, I can see why he's been afforded an extended stay, because he seems like, I can't lie, you know when you used to play football at grassroots and there was that teacher's pet people, you know when the coach said something and it's almost like he has a lieutenant, like the other guy's relaying the words, and he might not have the most ability, but he plays because he does that teacher's pet thing. That reminds me of Lallana. Of course, Lallana's a good technical footballer. Of course, I think he's got, you know, them guys that are just always on beef, and then he's starting large football, mate. He's one of them geezers there, but he's a good antagoniser, and I still think he's got something to offer a team. I just don't think it should be Leicester, even though I'm not a Leicester fan. Spurs have been linked with him. I don't see how he helps Spurs. And Arsenal, obviously he's a decent player. Longevity, we're not going to get longevity. He's 31. At the age he's at, he needs to look to go on. Him and his agent, if his agent is worth anything, whoever it is, needs to go out there and get him, on an ideal world, a 3-year deal, minimum 2-year deal, because he's 31. No one's trying to give these contracts to people. You probably get 18 months somewhere. Obviously, not to be ageist, and just because you turn 30 or doesn't mean you're past it, but there's no resale value, so you're not going to get, you probably won't get a boost in wages. If you can, this is where your agent has to work the most money, because would it make sense from his point of view, if he signed a 3-year deal at any club, including staying at Liverpool, it's great for him. He's got stability for 3 years. By then, obviously, he'll be 34 and he'll have to concede, you know, I've got to go do something else. But it's a nice little earner. It wouldn't make sense for him for that. It wouldn't make sense for us. For him, it makes complete sense. For Arsenal, Spurs, Leicester, it don't make no sense giving him to that. Giving him that. And when you add in Arsenal, obviously he's 31. Again, it doesn't matter about your age, and these players might leave, but you've got Aubameyang who's getting on a bit, Mesut Ozil who's getting on a bit, Socrates, Luiz, they, you know, dotted around the side. Why add Lallana into this? Who, if he did sign a year or two from now, in fact, even in a year, you probably have to think about moving him on or doing something else in that regards. Obviously, a bit of this is probably because he seems to be leaving Liverpool. Maybe there is one club that I haven't talked about that's legitimately interested in him. And when you say that Spurs, Arsenal, Leicester, all these teams, they are monitoring the situation, this might make other clubs, you know, be a bit more tempted to speed up the process if they are trying to secure him. Really and truly, people. Obviously, Lallana, for what it's worth, he's a decent player. He's a very good technical player. You could describe him as a leader. He's got something to offer a team, in my opinion. It just, Spurs want to get Champions League place. I don't see how he's going to help with that. I don't see how he's going to help Arsenal. Leicester, obviously he'd be a good squad player, but their first 11, there's no point bringing him in unless it's bringing in someone unless it's top quality. If he's coming to be a squad player, then fair enough. But yeah. How much is Lallana on a week? Lallana weekly wages. Let's see what Google is saying. I can't verify how valid these claims are, people, but I've clicked on the first website. Where is Lallana? It's not even sure. It's got everyone's name, but Adam Lallana. He earns just over 5 million a year annual salary. He's on 110 a week. That don't make no sense to give him 110 a week at Arsenal or Spurs, really and truly, at 31. It really don't make no sense, people. Now, if I got an Arsenal's one on the same website, what did I say? He's on 110k a week, yeah. that would put him around the Bellerin, Kolasinac, Leno, Xhaka mark, and he would also, if he was to get them wages and not take a pay cut, he would earn more than Torreira, then Ceballos temporarily, then Mustafi, then Socrates, technically by a couple of pounds, Granit Xhaka, Callum Chambers, Guendouzi, Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, bunch of Martinelli, who's in talks to allegedly get a 30k deal and whatnot. How valid these claims are, I don't know, people, but yeah, I mean, how valid these salaries are, but I mean, it wouldn't make sense because he would be one of our highest earners, and for him, moving to London, being at a top 6 club, having a 2-year deal or something on 110 a week or so at Arsenal would be great. It all depends how we structure the deals and all of these sort of things, people. But I don't think, for what it's worth, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's just nonsense. But yeah, we spoke about it. Moving away from that one there, people. I've seen a couple of other players linked with Arsenal, mainly young players. First and foremost, we've been linked with us. Liverpool and United have been linked with Ricky J. Jones. He's a young striker that's been playing for Peterborough, 17 years of age, and been gaining a lot of plaudits in the same way that Charlie Kellman from Southend, who scored against Lincoln the other day, has been drawing interest from Premier League teams. Allegedly, Spurs bidded for him in January and it didn't happen. But like I said, Jones is 17 years of age. He's made 8 substitute appearances in League One and 2 starts for Peterborough. I don't know if obviously, with the way football is, and Peterborough have sold a couple of players onto other things, they might come a day where they sell him. If they could get a couple of mil for a 17-year-old who's barely made any appearances for them, that can help them go in. I'm sure they want to keep him, but this is it. And obviously, when you hear a 17-year-old is playing first team, you're going to get scouts from the top teams or championship teams or teams in higher divisions coming and seeing what it's about. Whether that's legit interest, whether that's just expanding knowledge, whether that's just keeping tabs, whether that's just reviewing, who knows, people. But the chairman of Peterborough said, United, Liverpool, Arsenal were interested. But we told them all the same thing, that it was a waste of time bidding as we're determined to keep hold of him. So if he is good, really is good, because I don't know him too much beyond the clips I see, then the interest will come again and eventually a decision will have to be made. But he's 17 playing first team. It don't matter what league you are, how many people can say that he's potentially at the right place. And if he is going to leave, he needs to go to another club where there's a pathway. You don't want to come to these teams mentioned, because you would just, I don't know how good he truthfully is, but at United, Liverpool and Arsenal, they're always bringing in players, the best, trying to bring in the best players domestically and homegrown. You're going to become one of many. Now, that might help you train and become a better player, but if it's just white and black as meat in first team or playing first team football, then it's not going to happen there for you. Moving away from that, people, and we've been linked with we were linked with Martin Saturino, who's obviously, if you don't know him, the young Uruguayan lad dubbed the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic out of South America. Apparently Inter Milan beat us to his signing. The 18-year-old signed for them for 1.7 mil. Apparently he was keen to sign for Liverpool and Liverpool were interested in him. Apparently he's relatively quick, he's a good goal scorer, he's 18 and he's 6'2", and he comes out of Uruguay, and I believe he was playing for Nacional in his homeland. That's a good club that develops a lot of players. Obviously South America always breed good strikers. Obviously if you're a Uruguayan, you don't need to, we know the many strikers they've had, and it's decent. He's gone to Inter Milan, which is a good place to develop. Obviously 1.7 mil isn't the biggest of fees for an 18-year-old. If he develops to become anything close to Ibrahimovic, Inter Milan have a good player for the future to sell on or use in their first team. If he doesn't, 1.7 mil is not the biggest of fees. But some words are coming out, and apparently he's got an agent that's actually from England, but he went off to South America after doing a sports management degree, and he set up his own agency. Apparently he's actually got a player from Southampton on his books, so maybe that helped it. But his agent said, and this might just be agents chatting nonsense, he said Arsenal were keen and there was a lot of interest from a lot of clubs, but Inter was the perfect one for him. I think it's a good step for him to go to Italy to push things forward. It's important you try to match the players to what's the right move for them. There was interest from the Premier League, but I think that will come later. Liverpool are his favourite team. He loves them, especially the way they're playing at the moment. So again, this is someone that's keeping all their options open for their client, people, which is, you know, what they've got to do. How legit the interest actually was, people, of course we don't know, and of course, like you, I'd love to know, but it is what it is. Players come and go. It is what it is in that regards, people. trying to find some more Arsenal news for you guys quickly before I let you let go. I've already spoken about Guendouzi. We've already spoken about the Algerian lad at what's his face at Brentford. Let's go on Twitter and see if there's any rumours. The primary source for Arsenal rumours, in my opinion. Already spoken about Wenger coming back and all these things. And obviously on the Lallana thing, reports are going on to say, obviously, the way Arteta wants to play with possession-based style tips him to Arsenal. Apparently, Spurs are looking to, replace the void that Eriksen's left. And I don't see how he feels that. But, I mean, I'm not going to tell people how to do it. Off topic as well, people, I don't know if you've actually seen, but we finally moved the summer transfer window back to closing on the 1st of September, I believe. So the English window is not going to close before the Europeans, so that short-lived experience has been put to bed, people. In relation to any other Arsenal news or anything necessarily affecting Arsenal or relevant, personally, I can't see anything, people, so I'm not going to waste your time in that regards. On that note, as usual, people, one love. It means a lot that you mess with my content each and every time. Go and check out my other content. Please hit the subscribe. Please hit the like. Please keep pushing the thing like you lot are doing. We've hit 19k subs. We're almost on 20. Can we get there before the end of the season? Please, people. I don't ask you lot for much, but yeah. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. DG, I'm out.